hopefully that's going. Awesome. Cool. Hey everyone, this is Tyler from SSW, and I'm here with the SSW Rules team, and we're going to take a look at the Sprint 1 retro review and planning. So let's just jump straight into it. The sprint goals for this week were to set up Tina Cloud for SSW.Rules.content and run a POC on how to address visual editing with Tina CMS and Gatsby. We've finished setting up Tina Cloud for rules content, but we did not get started on the POC. Moving down into the sprint review, most of this sprint was setting up that Tina Cloud project. So for example, I've got an item on doing a README for devs to run Tina locally. Baba also completed an item on Azure Functions and updating packages and removing any deprecated ones. Also done was creating the SSW.Rules Tina Cloud project itself. And Caleb and I also worked on the CI/CD and getting a staging website up for the Tina CMS migration branch. Caleb, do you want to go into a little bit of detail on this?
Sure. So our branching strategy is a little bit different to how it typically is on rules. Rather than folding pull requests back into main, we're planning to deploy to a new branch we've created called Tina/main and get the site up to a usable state. Using that branch, the staging environment is mainly so that we're not just testing things locally, we're building it and deploying it. And once we get that staging environment to an acceptable state, we're planning to fold our changes back into main.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've created a separate blob storage account for that, which I sent an email to Chris about, and he approved it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Caleb. So moving on from that, I've also updated the definition of done, and we'll just take a look at this item to see what was added. So for example, the things that we want to add to our definition of done is to make sure that we document it on the Tina CMS documentation, specifically for Tina CMS and Gatsby. We want to report any Tina CMS bugs that we find along the way, make sure that those PBIs are created in the Tina CMS repo. And also we want to make sure that we have an emphasis on closing PBIs with context, so that anyone else across the world on this team can just take a look at any closed issues and just see what work was done, whether that's a done video or a screenshot or just added context. And Jean brought that up during the retro as well. So after that one, we did some Tina CMS initial setup, and this just included adding Tina CMS to the Gatsby project. This is not done yet, but the rest of the work is just making sure that admin page comes up on the staging website we created. This large item here was for the POC creation, making sure we could get visual editing in Gatsby. Unfortunately, Gilles and Hugo weren't available this sprint. We should have just taken it out, but that's okay. Tina getting it working with a separate content repo. We know the process for this is a little bit weird, so we just had a PBI to make sure that we had rules and rules content sitting side by side locally, and we could work with that in local dev. So that's working as well. Remaining work on this one is to make sure that's also coming up on the staging site, and we can see those rules being indexed in Tina Cloud. A couple more issues for Baba from his previous sprint. These just include refactoring and bug fixes for rules. And lastly, Caleb finished off a spike into using the Tina Markdown component. So if you're not aware, Tina CMS uses a component called Tina Markdown, which it uses to render rich text. And unfortunately, we can't directly use that with Gatsby. So we had to do a spike to see how we could use that to unblock migrating over JSX components and making sure we can use MDX files and all that jazz. So moving on
Just
from
a few questions on the dones, Tyler. Were there any done videos?
Oh, yes. So Caleb actually did a short done video on this spike for using Tina Markdown. And he did a small one. If I click in, would you like to take a look at it, or are
Let's
you
not
okay with
watch
that
it,
one?
but if we can just show that it exists, then people can watch it if they want.
Yeah, sweet. So this done video is available on the PBI, and you can go and see what work Caleb's done there, and that'll relate to what's being done next sprint as well.
Okay, cool. And can you prefix the DevOps related tasks with just DevOps so we know which ones they are since they're important?
Yes. Which ones do you mean?
It's just that CI/CD one, I guess. I guess it's already got that prefix, so that's pretty good.
The green heart is
And
already
also
there.
that bug that Baba fixed. So
Oh,
the
yes.
bottom.
This one? No,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
It has the bug.
Can you add DevOps as well?
Yeah.
I will add we sent a retrospective email following that bug regarding the issue and how it can be fixed. Unfortunately, it won't be fixed by the migration to Tina, so we'll need to take another approach.
Which Baba has a PR up for, so it's already in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but we're only clicking on you while recording it. Sorry.
You're showing your
John, your audio is broken again.
Jesus Christ. Is it working now?
Yeah.
ish.
This mic. Ish? Is it cutting out again?
Yeah, a little bit. Is it very important? No. Okay, can we move on?
Yeah, I
Right,
just
so
wanted to say, Caleb, thanks for doing the done video, but next time, can you email it to us all? I know you just did it, so
yeah,
it's okay.
that'd
All
be
right.
awesome.
Keep
Hey,
going.
John.
Better?
Yep, better.
Except my laptop just crashed.
All right.
Okay, carry on.
We're going to keep going while you have tech difficulties, okay? All right. So, working on this sprint, we had Baba, myself, Caleb, and Bradley. Baba spent the most time, including Caleb over the weekend as well. So, releases, we did not create a new release branch this sprint. And noted with an urgent emoji is that there was a problem with the build failing over the weekend, which Baba and Caleb helped sort out. We won't take too in-depth look at that one.
I'd give Baba credit to that one. It was his PR that fixed the issue.
Yeah, all good. You were both there. And then there was also a problem I've noted with the builds that about half of our build pipelines are failing and falling over. I've created an issue, and Bradley has volunteered to look into this as well. So this is just a request that's timing out. It's making our stuff fall over. It's very, very annoying. We just want to get that addressed and move on. Additionally, we've got a PBI waiting for Gatsby on regarding build times. Bradley, do you have any insight on this one?
So, yes, sometimes the builds just get stuck and there's no error. They just stop and they time out after 4 hours. We've changed it so it times out after 1 hour, which is more helpful. But we've got an issue on the Gatsby side. I just pinged it in the Discord as well, so hopefully we get some traction on that one.
Yeah. So waiting to hear back from Gatsby on that. Application health overview. So we've got a view of our app insights here. I already talked to Brady about this, and as per our conversation, most of these are coming from the website trying to request app insights, and there is an issue on Microsoft about this, or Microsoft's application insights JS repository. And Brady has created a PBI, which I've added to next sprint, to just investigate this, and we believe it's something to do with the instrumentation key, and we need to switch over to using a connection string instead. Happy with that, Brady?
Yeah, that's okay.
Sweet. So in terms of progress made this sprint, the epic that we're working on is Tina CMS migration. We've currently got 5 out of 34 PBIs completed. There'll be more as we go. 5 completed this sprint and 34 newly created this sprint. If that number is confusing to anyone, we can make that 0 because we planned the backlog before this, but this is sprint 1. Regarding experimental work, Caleb worked on rendering the Tina Markdown tag using data sourced from Gatsby, which is awesome. And he's created that done video in the issue we've already taken a look at. In regards to the sprint retro, we have what went well. Brady's surprised how quickly Caleb got the Tina Markdown stuff done. Jean says Tyler appears to be doing a good job as Scrum Master, which is awesome. And I have some great feedback for the Tina Cloud team because Nick C helped unblock the Tina Cloud project creation and was super helpful just in general on that one. Stuff that didn't go so well, Jean noted that he didn't see too many done videos on PBIs, which we said we wanted to be more active on. But we note that the important thing is just closing PBIs with context to add to the rule. Closing PBIs with context as per the rule. So, in regards to what improvements can be made next sprint, Jean's worried about Tyler doing the heavy lifting and being Scrum Master, but I expect that my workload will back off as we move forward. And Caleb and Jean both say that they're worried about local dev build times. It's something we've experienced, myself and Caleb. It's not it's not a great experience, dev build times, and we want to make sure we'll keep an eye on it and see if we need to improve it in a future sprint. So that's the review and retro. Brady, do you have any questions?
No, it's all good.
Sweet. Let's move on to the forecast. So for the forecast for sprint 2, we've got a sprint goal, which is rendering rules content with Tina Markdown. So this sprint primarily, I've got Caleb and Isaac working together, and we want them to produce a section of rules that displays Markdown content using the Tina Markdown tag, which then signals that we can move forward with migrating stuff over into Tina CMS blocks and unblocks a whole bunch of work for us. So that's awesome. As we move forward, I will zoom in on this to see the PBIs that we need to do. I've dragged in not done PBIs from last sprint, including the seeing the Tina CMS admin page. And this is now actually done, so I will remove this after we finish this meeting, which was the spike to that Tina Markdown. I've assigned Caleb and Isaac both onto creating collections for us. Super simple work, but gets the team working together and gets that knowledge sharing across. And finally, we should be able to start work on the visual editing POC with Gilles and Hugo, and that'll be their main focus for this sprint. Now, a big note for this one is that it's quite a large PBI. We've got a 32 estimate, but we're going to try to fast fail this as per Wixie's advice, because it's quite a scary one, and we might just need to take a step back, reassess where we need to go with this one, and go from there. So if you have any questions on that one or at all, Brady, please just stop me.
No, all good.
Awesome. Continuing on, I've got Caleb and Isaac working on converting rules to using Tina Markdown tags so we can display that content, like I said. And currently, I'm going to be working on using MDX files in the Gatsby site so that we can transfer stuff over to using Tina CMS blocks. Bob is not here, but he will be attending for one day, so I've just given him a bug to fix the Gatsby build job. And additionally, we've got a couple for Brady, which are the items he created regarding fixing the generate commit data workflow and updating those app insights keys. So do you have any questions on the forecast, Brady?
No, it's good.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, with that,
I might
wrap.
just ask Matt if
Yeah.
Matt Wicks has any questions.
Wixie?
I don't right now.
Sweet. Feel free to reach out if you have second thoughts. Awesome. So with that, we wrap up the sprint review and retro for Sprint 1 and the sprint forecast for Sprint 2. So this is the SSW Rules team, and we are signing off. I'm going to be uploading this video to the SSW Rules YouTube. This is the SSW Rules team signing off. Thank you.
Thanks, Noah.
First of all.